All right. So things didn't really go according to my plans today. And it turns out that there is one more thing I want to do in Etrian Odyssey 3 before we move on to our New Game Plus playthrough. Off stream, I beat the dragons. I want to showcase those fights. We are going to do the same thing we did last night in that we are going to reload and then finish them on Picnic to get their conditional drops. Just because otherwise it is a huge pain. The Anemone, Elder Dragon, and Abyssal God we will leave for our second playthrough for reasons that will become very clear shortly. Just in the interest of showing a difference later, just our status screens here, because something else will get added to it after. Now, the worm, the fire dragon, if you recall from the previous two games, it can apply an attack buff to itself, and it can also debuff our attack and has a chance of inflicting confusion. So we want limit skills that will allow us to purge confusion, and we want that to be usable on the regular, so we're going to give that to the character that we're going to have multiple copies of, myself, so we can use it often, and then that should take care of that. Actually, no, I think we want our attack buff to be applied more frequently. So let's actually give myself Charge Tactic, and then Nia can have that, and then the others can have Regroup. Because we can heal ourselves, but it is Regroup Tactic will be useful for just upkeep. I have gotten endgame weapons for Nia. Technically myself, we're going to be upgrading this with the drop from the Red Dragon. We have purchased one of the endgame weapons for Kana, and we have given it an extra accuracy buff. And then we have endgame armor for Maud and Cthulhu's now. We previously had that for Kana. I don't know if I've purchased anything else skill-wise. Did we actually save with the Eagle Eye? No, we did not. All right, but it's fine. This is what I beat the Red Dragon with. Let's make sure we are on Expert. Yes, we are. Okay. And gonna hit up the. I'm gonna go from the Abyssal Shrine, actually. But yeah, I did some further testing with the Anemone. We're gonna have to level significantly to make that fight more feasible. It's just kind of miserable. And honestly, the Ice Drake and the Volt Dragon have become a lot more annoying as well in their own ways. The Fireworm is actually the easiest one now. Normally the Volt Dragon was the easiest in previous games, generally followed by the Ice Drake, and then the Worm was usually the hardest, except in the first one I think the Worm was kind of somewhere in between. We've given ourselves, well, myself, the Ice Fang Rapier, so I'm doing a little bit more damage. Also got the best katana that I can, that you can get, super shoguns. The main reason I'm using that in my main hand is because it provides a whole bunch of luck. So if we ever do have a boss fight where we want to use hanging to bind the boss, we'll get that benefit of the luck stat. It's also possible that luck may influence our chances of triggering swashbuckling. I don't know for sure, though. I honestly haven't noticed a difference. Tonight is probably not going to be a long stream, because I spent most of my day trying to unpatch Armored Core 6, realized that for that to work, we would have to restart our save file. And I don't really have the patience to do that, because I'd have to maintain a separate copy of the save file, play up to Chapter 4. Actually, I shouldn't have run there. Oh well. Yeah, play up to Chapter 4 offline on my own, beat the Chapter 4 boss. I also realized we haven't actually reached Chapter 4 yet. I just kind of concluded that we had completed Chapter 3, so that's the whole thing. So we will have to just accept the fact that we're not getting the full experience of that boss unless they add the revision feature from the previous Armored Cores. As soon as you step into the open area, a scorching blast of malign intent comes directly at you. You look toward its source to see a gigantic red dragon clad in crimson flames. It seems that the seal was broken by the removal of the stones and the red dragon has been revived. The red dragon seems to sense your reasons for being here and slowly rises to do battle. Take up your weapons and show your bravery against the living incarnation of flame before you. Okay. There can also be a gotcha moment with these guys on the first turn, and every turn that ends in a 5 or a 10. He is supposed to use his fire ability, but he could also just choose to use that ability that debuffs you and confuses your party, and that's just basically a wipe. It's not worth dealing with that early in the fight. I think I pointed out that we got mod some sovereign abilities. Ailment protection is pretty handy, and attack power, we're going to buff that on Cthulhu's. Something also I learned is that you can just reapply buffs infinitely, and they will continue to stack. That is something we discovered last night. But the interesting thing is that you can just keep using them. And debuffs, for that matter. Alright. Yeah, so the fight's a bit of a struggle until we get both of our hoplites up and defending us. So we're going to use this interim moment to try and recover our party. Well, that was unfortunate. We're going to use a Theriaca B. Actually, no, regroup tactic will get the job done. Wolf Howl. And then we're going to pop some flares. Oh my god. But we have now cleared that. And with the attack buff that we're about to receive, we'll be immune to further confusion for a hot minute. So now would be a good time to apply Eagle Eye, and we're going to do our Wolf Howl. Oh, wait. This is, actually, no. He is going to use his fire. so we can take this turn to up some of our TP amounts. Let's see. You know, we'll use a Hama on Kana for a little bit of upkeep there. And pop some more flares, because I could use that. Okay. So now, attack buff at the start of the turn. And now we can start dealing damage again. So the thing about the dragons in this one especially is the fights are really long just because the dragons end up causing a lot of downtime. Unfortunately, our legs have been bound. Again, it's a strategy that the dragon uses to hit us with one of its multi-hit attacks. So we're going to take that opportunity to re-up Eagle Eye. We're going to unbind. And pop some more flares, why not? Or we're not, because it's going to stun us. But that's fine. We can work around that. Yeah, we can get back to attacking. Because again, like an all-party stun is just like, oh, that's just a turn wasted. Unfortunately, a lot of the time, Kana does not get an opportunity to attack like so. Getting him some stun resistance would be actually really smart. But I keep not doing that. You know, I'm just going to use this turn to replenish Nia's TP on the front line. And all these dragon fights basically follow the same kind of pattern. Oh, no, Cthulhu has not been bound. Oh, then this is a, firewall turn. Is that just free damage? One thing I do miss... Oh, you bastard. Gotta refresh everyone. We might not survive this turn. Oh, interesting. The targets can change. Yeah, that sucked. Yeah, unfortunately, I don't think this is recoverable. Yeah, getting our whole team confused like that. Again, this fight basically just comes down to, hey, make sure that your attack buff is on constant uptime. And that is something that we failed to do. Okay, that actually worked out in our favor. Hold up. We might be good. Nectar on Cthulhu. We're gonna use a Medora 2 on our front line. We can't regroup. We need to use Ad Nihilo, because he's got Raging Strike, which increases his physical attack. Shit. Okay, this is bad. Okay. Erica B on mods. We're gonna use a Laudanum. And he's probably going to attack our whole team and kill us, but... yeah. Yeah, that's about right. But this is a fire turn, so we're actually okay with that. Okay, this is really annoying, the fact that he is choosing to do that attack. See, he's not supposed to use that until he's below 50%, as far as I recall. So yeah. Alright. As far as I'm concerned, like, this is just a battle of attrition. I did it off stream. I beat him on expert difficulty, so I no longer care about showing that fight off. It does not change. It is just that. But offline, I just got luckier, and my attack buffs were up on the turn that he was confusing the whole party. So let us. I need to stop loading the continue save. Okay. Bump that down to picnic. And I'm just gonna mow through the fight. Basically, the thing is, when you get it down to the last bit of its health, you got to kill it with a fire attack. One thing that's nice about this game, because there's so many attacks that do physical plus an element, you can actually do decent damage with like the Arbalest barrage skills, which was not the case in Etrian Odyssey II, where you basically just have to peck away at the last little dregs of the health bar. And that was the worst for the Drake, because it would just eventually heal itself, and yeah, it was just not worth the effort. I think Salamox did that too. An optional fire boss about halfway through the second stratum. Yeah, unfortunately, because we need to use that one moving platform, there isn't a faster way to navigate to the fireworm here. Okay. Wish the encounter rate would chill. So because we're just doing this on picnic, we can just blast through this. And then we can load our other save, because I've already kind of done some prep. It's one of the main reasons I decided to do this tonight, because having to maintain all these separate saves just to do another stream fighting these dragons on the original backup save. It's been a recurring theme today, is just messing around with save files. Thankfully, I was able to, despite the fact that I wasn't able to get Armor Core 6 going, I was at least able to make sure that the save file is not messed up. Alright. As you fight on through the storm of fire, you finally succeed in defeating the Red Dragon. The Red Dragon collapses, slowly closing its eyes, after which its immense form bursts into flames. Those flames eventually coalesce into a solidified sphere. You reach out and grasp the orb, which floats in midair. A rush of energy overwhelms you. Obtain a red heart. The level cap has been raised. You may now achieve experience levels up to 80. You have matured immensely as warriors as you turn to leave the battleground. Out of the blue, Hiragi and Agamede waltz into the Red Dragon's hall with innocent looks. You gape at them, wondering if you'd get a coherent explanation for their presence if you asked. The pair are so incongruous in this hall that you can't help but ask why they're here. Hiragi points at you as she looks back and forth from the map, speaking excitedly to Agami. The two of them pull a shovel from their pack and begin digging where the Red Dragon had been seated. What in the world could they be doing? Your curiosity forces you to ask them about it. Hiragi then points out a red mark on her map to you. It seems to point to this hall. You ask them where the map came from, but Hiragi's hesitant answer is circuitous and vague. She seems to mean that Agamede's father was an astrologer who drew the map on Elder's advice. The pair evidently followed the map to the Red Dragon, thinking it be some sort of treasure. Astounded by their naivete, you tell them that this map shows not treasure, but a dreadful beast. Agamede freezes, the shovel in her hands falling away, before she slowly turns to face you. Eventually, she seems to recognize that you are telling the truth, and begins packing to leave. One last time, she drags the poor, befuddled Hiragi quickly out of the Red Dragon's hall. Though the deadly battle is over, you feel even more exhausted. You decide to leave this place. Alright. So, now what happens is we go here, and suddenly we have crowns on our heads. So, like I said the other night, we did get to 70 and then we retired. This provided us with +5 to all of our stats here, and then a bonus of 8 skill points, I think. You don't have to retire again, like in Etrian Odyssey 2, where every time you retired from 70, you would increase the level cap by 1, you would then reach the new max, retire again, and continue that cycle. That was a stupid system. Now you retire at 70 to get the bonuses, and the dragons increase the level cap by 10 each, up to a max of 99, and if you choose to retire at 99, then you get +10 to all stats. Doesn't stack, it's just +10 instead of the original +5, and then instead of the +8, you get +10 skill points. Plus the 29 extra levels from raising the cap from 70 to 99. So we're going to have a lot of skill points to play around with later, and that's exciting. I think this is amazing, but it also suggests that the true super bosses, aka the Anemone, the Elder Dragon, and the Abyssal God, are really designed to be fought above the standard level cap. And sure enough, when we get the Elder Dragon Sequest, the NPCs there are in the early to mid 90s. So that's kind of your hint. I forget if there is an NPC that told us anything. Oh, that's interesting. No one is here. It's the first time we've gotten that message. Do we get any new text if we go here? Nah. And if we were to sell the fire scale, we could get nothing. Right, you sell each of the scales and you can get Dragonbane, but that's a sword, and that's actually not going to be beneficial for any of our party members. Technically, Cthulhu's could use it because you don't need a particular weapon to use Warrior Might, but yeah, that's not it's not really worth the time or the effort. Instead, I killed it with fire damage. Delete that spare save. We're gonna load this one. So I killed it with fire damage, which allowed me to get the Sunblade. And this is going to be important for the remaining dragons that we're going to be fighting here, plus eventually the Anemone, potentially. Now the thing about the Drake is that it does have a chance of applying a headbind to our party members. So if we apply 2 head seals, again, each of these icons is a 10% reduction, which means we've just given Mod immunity to headbinds at the cost of losing a lot of defense. The Ice Dragon is in the Porcelain Forest. And in terms of our limit skills for this guy, yeah, he's mostly all about honestly just a damage reduction. Is like this is probably a good composition. We don't really need any particular limit skills for this guy. The main issue is that this boss will regularly, frustratingly, reapply Ice Block, which will basically almost completely nullify all physical damage that he deals, and Kana is not fast enough to act before Ice Block activates, so that'll be a thing. So Ice Wall on turn 1, get all our debuffs going. Maybe hit him with an Ad Nihilo just in case he decides to use that on turn 1. No, he did go with the ice after all. Okay, we're gonna double up. And honestly, we're just gonna apply some more debuffs because why not? Get a party heal, hope that Nia acts before Mod does. Oh, did that stop Nia from, Oh, I chose the wrong ability anyway, so that would have been bad. Well, we can shrug off. We can keep reapplying these. So in that case, then, I'm just gonna use Ad Nihilo again. This fight is going extremely poorly. I want to at least give this fight an honest try, and I don't think I even bothered to quick save. So that's frustrating. Again, the problem with these fights is very much that the boss can just use a pattern where you're stuck on the defense for so long. And the only real answer is we could give every single person on our party stun immunity. Because that's basically the issue, is that it will stun your party, apply Ice Block to itself, bind heads so people can't do what they need to do. The thing is, once Nia clones herself, we don't need headbind resistance, so we just need to get in there quickly. But we have to dedicate that first turn to our ice defense. So I will say these are probably the least fun iterations of the dragons. Just because so much of the fight is just reacting to a specific set of debuffs, and you are kind of at the whim of the dragon if it decides to use a bad combination back to back. Yeah, and there's nothing you can really do. I suppose we could put ailment resistance on part of our team. I don't think there's a limit skill. No. Yeah, we could try that. Prevent order. There we go. And then double up. Why not? We'll apply some more debuffs, and we'll prevent order on the back line. That does not count as a debuff. That sucks. That absolutely sucks. For the love of God. Oh my God. I have actually not seen this happen before. And now we need to use Ice Wall again. This is silly. That was not optimal. Yeah, I might need to look into upgrading Nia's speed. Let's have you defend. Okay, finally we get some breathing room. All right, now we can start guarding. We're gonna apply some more debuffs and we're gonna have Nia on the back line use a Laudanum to save some time here. Now here's where I realized I needed to pull all the Laudanums that we had in storage out, but see, now if we look at our debuffs, okay, it does seem to cap at 9 turns. That makes sense. Okay, so now we can finally start dealing some damage, right? Yeah, he doesn't have anything going on. See, once we start dealing some damage, you know, it comes easily enough. Kana will never get to act. And again, this is just kind of to show the flow of the fight. Again, we've seen this fight before. I'm going to use this turn to re-up our debuffs. You know what? You can actually use this to apply some Imrita. There we go. See, that's also the problem. Like, Kana, because he's so slow, he will either get stunned before he can act, or... Actually, that's going to do physical. That would be a waste. Or Ice Block will be applied before Kana gets an opportunity to attack. So this is just like the ultimate battle of attrition. Also, Kana seems to be like getting stunned way more often than anyone else. And I don't know if there's a particular reason for that. But yeah, the fact that stunning does not count as an ailment that you can prevent is ridiculous to me. So at this point, the only thing that we really haven't seen is when it eventually applies regeneration to itself. but I've kind of had enough of this fight already. Like we're slowly chipping away. The only real optimizations here are that we could apply stun resistance. And Mott's really the only one who would need bind resistance. Yeah, it made the start of that fight really difficult when Nia's head got bound. But again, that only matters at the start of the battle. Damn it. I need to stop loading that save. And again, for my sanity, I think all the conditional drops we want, well, I think all the drops we want are the conditional drops, because the conditional drop for the Drake will get us the best armor for the Shogun class, which I need. Here we go. Okay, let's just blast through this. Now, if I'm not mistaken, in Etrian Odyssey II, because that was the first time we started using picnic difficulty to streamline the post-game experience, Ice Block still works like at almost full capacity. So we are going to have to dispel that. Alright. Where are we at? Okay, let's do some normal attacks. Hello, Kana. Welcome in, love. How you doing? Oops. You know what? Let's be a little cautious here. That makes sense. Oh, it still regenerates a lot. Health rate is going well. Oh yeah. We are gonna have to use a laudanum to avoid killing it with... I think it's got enough health. Yeah. Whew. Yeah, okay. We're good. Perfect. Ta-da! Thankfully, that's not one of those bosses that needs to be defeated on expert difficulty. Again, my off-stream run was so much better for that fight as well. I don't know why I can't get good luck on stream. It's the streamer's curse. It's real. Your burning spirit handily overcame the icy ordeal. The ice dragon that had collapsed with a cry shatters. Its crystal remains flit about the hall. Shining crystals coalesce before your eyes, eventually forming an orb. When you grasp hold of the orb, you feel an overwhelming rush of power. Attained the blue heart. Level cap has been raised. You may now achieve experience levels up to 90. With the ice dragon vanquished, you can finally attend to Wilf, still collapsed on the ground. You rush over to the critically injured Wilf and cradle her body in your arms. She laughs weakly and haltingly begins to speak, as if struggling for the words. I'm sorry I lied. The Dragon Killer is a sword, not a spear. No Dragon Slayer would forget it. With that, she shows you the sword she holds limply and the beautiful patterns engraved on it. Your lineage, your training, none of it matters until you slay your first dragon. Want to show my parents I could beat the ice dragon. I wanted to make them proud. You're gullible, but you're strong. Strong enough to be true dragon slayers. Though her last words are spoken in a clear, strong voice, her life's flame extinguishes there. You carry away her frozen body and decide to bury her in a corner of the hall. Lastly, you thrust the dragon killer into the ground as a grave marker and say a quiet prayer. Damn. Can we actually interact with that grave? You said in a corner of the hall, right? Go figure. She is just as foolhardy as her brother Hrothgar. Rest in peace, you idiots. No, I'm not seeing anything. Chajin Jinbauri. Alright. Or Baori? I don't know. Baori? There are very specific ways to enunciate those sorts of things. And now we got 2 crowns. Look at that. So that'll be a fairly huge upgrade once we grab that. Still under 300, which is unfortunate, but it is what it is. Alright. Dial it up to experts. And sleep at the inn. Okay, and lastly, we are going to fight the dragon. Now, the thing about this guy... Let me remind myself what we need to do to deal with him. So his thing... So they changed him a lot in that Etrian Odyssey 1, he did not do certain things that he was scripted to do because of issues with his AI. In Etrian Odyssey 2, he did some of those things, but still didn't really reach his full potential. So the big deal with the Lightning Dragon is that if you have more than 11 buffs on the, or 11 or more buffs, so basically, well, in our case, we're going to have 6 party members, so unfortunately we have to keep no more than 1 buff on our whole party at a time, or else it will use an ability called Corrupt. Purges all buffs from the party and has a chance of inflicting curse or instant killing one of our party members. And it cannot be blocked with Prevent Order. Because it purges the buff first, and then it applies the ailment. When it is at half health or lower, that triggers when you have 7 or more buffs. So just as a rule of thumb, keep 1 buff on your party at a time, or you're dead. This guy can inflict paralysis, curse, and heal itself. And then later on, it inflicts a defense debuff. So you want to try and... Basically, we're going to be doing the same sort of thing. We're going to be using guard tactic to keep our defense up. And we are going to give mods paralysis immunity. And hope that that works. And where was this guy again? He's on the last floor of that stratum. So again, this one, much like the Ice Drake, took a hot minute as well, just because this guy repeatedly paralyzes your team. And he does have an ability to heal himself based on the damage he deals to you, so... that combo of him reducing your defense, then hitting you with an attack that heals him based on how much damage he deals, on top of paralyzing your entire team repeatedly, is nasty business. And it's just... do your best with the few accessory slots you have, and pick your poison. And now that I'm realizing that there's going to be a lot of grinding involved, getting all our characters to level 99, and then potentially retiring and leveling back up to 99, there may be a long break between our New Game Plus playthroughs and fighting an enemy Elder Dragon and Abyssal God, so be aware of that. That said, I'm probably going to fast track them anyway, because that's what I've been doing this entire playthrough, despite wanting to do other things. Okay, start off with Volt Wall. Now, the nice thing is, Eagle Eye and Wolf Plow are debuffs on this guy. And honestly, we're just going to have Mod defend. We're going to pop flares. Alright. Now, hopefully we can actually separate ourselves before Nia gets paralyzed, which is coming up this turn, I'm sure. See, the problem is, because that stab attack is so difficult and we didn't have Nia defending our party, that is what comes of that. So at this point, we may as well just reapply some buffs. Debuffs, rather. And revive Cthulhu's with a Nectar. So if I remember correctly, this dragon does not do a significant amount of damage. Technically, neither does the Drake. It's just a matter of dealing with the fact that it's so debilitating. So now I think we can resume dealing damage, now that we can protect our party. Assuming that Cthulhu doesn't get one shot on the back line. Oh, that's not gonna be... yeah. Well, the nice thing is Nia was not paralyzed. So now we can apply Volt Wall. We can redo our debuffs. We can revive Cthulhu's and apply some Amrita. Not me forgetting to purge the paralysis. That would have been a smart thing to do. I did cure from it though, so that's pretty nice. At this point, I'm just gonna go for it. That's fine. That maybe not. Yeah. So we can apply our defense buff now because Pop Flare wore off. Eagle Eye could use a re-up. Let's do this and queue up a refresh. And that should be an efficient use of this turn. And then we can use an Amrita. Let's use that on Kana, why not? No, that's a bad turn. So one thing I never liked about RPGs is when a character is dead and you try to give them something that replenishes something like TP and it doesn't count. It's always been a frustrating mechanic of these sorts of experiences. This might be another waste, but again, we're reloading anyway. Hey, that actually worked out. Yeah, let's do a line heal, and then Theriac will be on me. Why not? Let's use an Amrita. I probably should have just had Kana defend, because like we've been on the defense because he keeps dying. Okay, let's use a Nectar 2 because I have the most agility. Party heal. Ariaka B. And then I'm right on Nia. And then we can actually do a little bit of damage before I reload my save and do this on Picnic. Alright. I'm surprised because Kana is one of our tankier characters. Okay, see, we're dealing decent damage overall. What I am really realizing I've done incorrectly is I don't think guard tactic is on myself. Well, that was fortuitous. Paralyzed Nia on the back line, only to be cleared. Oh, yeah, we can guard tactic. There we go. I wish there was a way to re-up Endure so that it wasn't like once per battle. Let's just use a party heal and then Ariaka B on that Nia. Again, I'm going to regret doing that because if he uses an all target attack, there we go. Bye. See, in this, oh, hey, the paralysis cleared just in time. Okay, let's use a Nectar on Cthulhos. If it actually comes out. And use a refresh. And then you can use a Medic 2 on Cthulhos. Why not? Yeah, that was a good turn. The only problem is that because Cthulhos died, he lost his guard tactic application. Oh, yeah, we can't do that. Yeah, actually, no, let's not do that. Let's use... let's re-up our buffs, actually. Do we want a party heal? Yeah, that should be fine. We do actually have a whole bunch of Amrita 3s that we can purchase now, so why not? That's fine. Let's hope Refresh activates or we don't get paralyzed during the turn. Perfect. Oh, because each one is a normal attack. He didn't get to act. That's unfortunate. Yeah, now we're running low on resources, unfortunately. So our front line is going to be losing some defense soon. And again, this could just be resolved by... Okay, so here's the thing, is that we just got our defense reduced, so now would be a good time to activate Guard Tactic, but we can't. And he is going to hit one of the Nias and drain a whole bunch of their life. So, what we can do is we can dispel all stat decreases on a row. and just hope that he attacks the front line, which is what we're targeting. That worked out perfectly fine. Okay, now we can apply guard tactic, Volt Wall, and we can now be a good turn to re-up. What are we doing here? We want to inspire the backline. I use a Hamao 2 on Kana, and then we'll use a regular Hamao on Nia. Perfect. Good turn. Alright. Let's see. I feel whenever I queue up a party heal with mod, I feel like that's a wasted turn. Yeah, the funny thing there is it keeps extending the defense. Or no, each hit is further. See, it takes away guard tactic and then hits it again, causing the defense reduction to take even if you had guard tactic to immunize yourself against it, so to speak. So we're going to inspire the front line because they're going to take the most damage if they do actually get hit by anything. That actually worked out fairly well. This would be a good turn to re-up. Actually, you know what? I want to make sure that Kana survives this turn. And Eagle Eye is the better buff. And then for you... Yeah, we can just apply a Medora too. See if that actually works. Nice. Running low on CP, however. One thing I do wish is that it would show you if characters had a debuff on them or not. Well, thankfully, Curse doesn't matter for Nia at all. And we're just gonna chill on this turn because we want an extra turn for Line Guard. So we can actually attack. Get a Mumio Ken. 9 smashes. We still got guard tactic on. Don't want to apply too many buffs. Honestly, this is a Volt Wall turn, so yeah, we're just gonna attack. Volt Wall, and then Warrior Might. Unless he arbitrarily decides not to use his lightning attack, but I digress. Case in point. Still, like I said before, not a super damaging attack, thankfully. Oh, and he's almost toast. Well, how about that? Let's go. Kablam. Ta-da! Alright, so we got one of them. On stream. This is actually one of the ones I struggled with. I didn't think I would do it on stream on expert difficulty. So again, it's just a matter of getting good RNG and working past the battle of attrition. After fighting with all your might, you finally succeed in subjugating the gold dragon. The gold dragon's corpse begins to emit a brilliant light, which then dissipates into golden particles. The particles drift in the air, eventually coming together to form a sphere. You reach out and touch the golden orb floating in midair. A rush of limitless energy staggers you. You have learned a great deal by overcoming the dragon's ordeal. You leave with dignified steps. In Gold Heart. Level cap has been raised. You may now achieve experience levels up to 99. Okay, so that said, we are going to redo that on picnic difficulty so that we can get the conditional drop from that guy. And then we'll get some dialogue from Lindworm, and we're gonna move on to some Ghostwire Tokyo. And then I can finally get started on New Game Plus. Yeah, I'll be honest, the thing I'm most concerned about is how we're gonna deal with the anemone. And I guess the Abyssal God. That seems to be a much more complicated fight than previous super bosses, and that it's still... actually, no, I don't think it's as scripted as the previous ones were. And I think that's what I'm worried about. Because the anemone fight, for the most part, is like, okay, like, pick your poison. Do you want to be immune to binds? Do you want to be immune to the instant death that it deals? I think you can also paralyze everyone. I mean, if we look at what we have, because I bought these specifically. Oh, yeah. It can hit the party with crush damage, so you can completely nullify all the damage it deals. Bash damage, sorry. You can nullify all the damage that it deals in that fight if you so desire. But then you could get bound or instant killed, so again, pick your poison. So my thought process is we'll put the Crush Amulet on Cthulhu since he's getting the defense decrease when he uses Warrior Might. We'll put the bind resistance on Mod, and then we'll probably put instant death resistance on Nia, because there'll be 2 of them, so having 2 people who could potentially survive instant death would be really nice. Should get a quick saved. Oh well. Actually, you know what? No. To make this go faster, we're gonna have 2 Nias, and then that's 2 people that can be using lightning damage on top of Cthulhu's. There we go. Alright, how are we looking? And again, I'm just trying to be safe than sorry when it comes to the conditional drops here. Let's actually have you guys defend. Perfect. Alright. Time for Blitz Ritter. You might actually need to heal. And then full barrage. Wait. Looked like there were some skills. Oh, party heal. That's what was throwing me through a loop. For a second, I thought somebody got like an ailment and it reset their command on us. All right. And then we'll go back to the inn and have a word with Lindworm. And now if we want a less accurate, because we've got the accuracy buff on Yagrush, but if we want more HP for Kana, which honestly might not be a bad idea, we can go with Uko and Basara. But we will definitely need to do a bit of farming, get the scales from the regular drops from those dragons when they respawn in 14 days, and we can start our second run after we get Chajin Jinbaori. Okay. What's happening, Lindworm? Welcome back, guys. Huh? Came to see Mr. Lindworm? Okies, I'll show you to his room. Follow me. Ah, it's you. Thanks to you, my wounds have healed. I was just leaving to vanquish the dragon. What? You've already slain the golden dragon? I swore to defeat it, even at the cost of my life. But thanks to you, I'll live to see my princess again. Thank you, valiant warriors. When I return to my homeland, I will tell the story of your service. Well now, I must hurry home on the next ship to confirm the princess's safety. Farewell, noble warriors. Alright. So now is the elder dragon gonna do anything, or no? Alright. Fair enough. Okay. Let us save. And then go to the port. And we are gonna set sail. Now, what's the best way to get over there? Because we loop around here, we go through here, and then through here, right? Yeah, we should be fine with this setup, I think. There we go. Went a little short on turns. No, we can't do this with the foremast. Whoops. Well, live and learn. Let's just refund our money. There we go. Perfect. You returned to the floating forest where you heard the mysterious voice and dropped anchor. The same magnificent voice you heard before echoes from above. Welcome, frail humans. Seems you've defeated one of the three dragons, the great red worm. And now, you've surpassed the natural limits of man and gained new power. You have earned the right to walk the path to the heavens. Show me the keys to open the door. As you raise the three orbs you won from the dragons, they begin to glow brightly. Well done, mighty humans. You have opened the way to the heavens and reached the final trial. Beyond here is a land unknown to man. If you are firm in your decision, return here again. It will be at that time that I shall stand before you fragile humans as your final trial. The voice then fades away. Only the residual effects of that magnificent presence remain. At last, you have defeated the 3 dragons and earned the right to challenge this grand entity. However, it would be best to return to Armor Road first before the battle. Welcome back, everyone. You've gained permission to seek the Dragon God in the Aerial Forest. In other words, you'll be facing the Elder Dragon's ordeal, fighting a dragon not unlike a god. I don't know how they heard, but your allies have been gathering at the port to help you out. You should make use of them. Seems that one good turn deserves another. Now though, everyone, prepare yourselves. You'll be challenging the Dragon God itself in a fight. Alright, so now that should be unlocked when we get back at any point in the new game, if we so choose. Okay, there we go. Over to the port. Let's just read some text. Aerial Forest, the Divine Elder Dragon has finally appeared to you after you have overcome so many trials. If you can defeat it, your names will be written in history. I shall aid you. The ninja lives and dies in shadow as she searches for treasure on behalf of her master, but she has decided to help her friends of her own volition. The Tigers. You will fight the Divine Dragon? My master's search continues, but I owe you much. Call on me. I shall answer it. That is the way of the ninja. I may not be of use, but I shall assist. Kirikaze. Ninja with an order given. A ninja who came to help her friends. She fights with copies. Me returned favor. Wildling heard that the adventurers who helped him are taking on the Aerial Forest. He and his companions ran to assist. Me at bar. Me drink. But me hear that tigers take on aerial forest from Toma. You help me, so me help you this time. Toma coming too. Maybe we not so good at this, but we make good meat shield. Appreciate the honesty. Toma, an adventuring farmer forced to go. He plants binding plants. Bergman, a wild beastmaster who came to help his friends. He commands animals. Princess and crew. Finished with her trials, the princess was ready to return home. When news of her allies taking on the Divine Dragon reached her, she rallies to the cause. I hear you are to challenge the Divine Dragon. Did you know dragon slaying is a royal task? Besides, being helped all the time hurts my royal dignity, and the 2 I met at the harbor happen to feel the same. We will fight with you. Victoria, a princess who came to assist her friends. Her orders bolster allies. Princess's honor guard. Zabby, a buccaneer of great sword prowess who came to help her new friends out. And Arona, a hammer-using girl who came to pay a debt. Her violence is devastating. So that's like a whole front line going on there. I'm curious how effectively you could use this team with just like, I guess maybe a healer support and yeah, I don't know. It's hard to work around, honestly. But that said, now I truly can't think of anything else to do. As far as Etrian Odyssey III is concerned. So we will come back to this once I have reached the 3rd stratum on New Game Plus. Got those scales, maybe done some level grinding to exceed our limits past level 70. All right, so that is that for now. Let me end my recording here.